The first epistle to the Thessalonians is a remarkable letter that combines Paul's love with profound theological truths. Written around 51 AD during Paul's stay in Corinth, this letter addresses a young church facing persecution and confusion about the return of Christ. Its central message is one of hope, grounded in the promise of Christ's second coming. The setting, Thessalonica, and its church. Thessalonica, located in the region of Macedonia, was a bustling seaport and a strategic hub on the Egnatian Way, the main Roman road connecting the east and west. In Paul's day, it was a melting pot of cultures, religions, and ideas, with a significant Jewish population alongside Greek and Roman influences. Paul, accompanied by Silas and Timothy, founded the church in Thessalonica during his second missionary journey, Acts 17, 1-9. Despite only spending a short time there, Paul's preaching caused a stir, with many turning from idols to serve the living God, 1 Thessalonians 1 verse 9. However, his success also stirred opposition, forcing him to flee the city. Concerned for the new believers, Paul later sent Timothy to encourage and strengthen them. Timothy's positive report prompted Paul to write this letter. A Model Church, Chapter 1. Paul opens the letter with gratitude and praise for the Thessalonians. Despite persecution, they had become a model of faith, love, and hope, inspiring believers throughout Macedonia and Achaia, 1 Thessalonians 1 verses 6-8. Their faith was not passive, it was a work of faith, a labor of love, and an enduring patience of hope, 1 Thessalonians 1 verse 3. Paul's words underscore the transformative power of the gospel. Like a beacon, the Thessalonian church shone brightly, drawing others to Christ. This is a reminder that genuine faith is never static. It moves outward, impacting others. Paul's ministry and encouragement, Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, Paul defends his conduct and motives. Unlike the traveling philosophers of his day who often sought personal gain, Paul's ministry was marked by sincerity, selflessness, and love. He likens his care for the Thessalonians to that of a mother tenderly nurturing her children and a father encouraging and guiding them. 1 Thessalonians 2 verses 7-12. Paul's example serves as a blueprint for ministry. Preach courageously, avoid deceit and flattery, and minister with genuine love. His focus was not on pleasing people but on pleasing God, who tests our hearts. 1 Thessalonians 2 verse 4. The Thessalonians endured severe persecution, yet they remained steadfast. Paul reminds them that suffering is part of the Christian journey, just as it was for the churches in Judea and for Christ himself. He encourages them to view their trials in light of eternity, where their faithfulness will be rewarded. Paul's longing to see the Thessalonians again reflects his deep care. He describes them as his glory and joy. Timothy's positive report of their faith and love fills Paul with gratitude and motivates him to pray fervently for their continued growth. Paul shifts focus to practical exhortations. He urges the Thessalonians to live in a way that pleases God, emphasizing sanctification, particularly in matters of sexual purity. In a culture rife with immorality, Paul's call to holiness is a countercultural challenge. He also encourages them to love one another more and to lead quiet, productive lives. By doing so, they would earn the respect of outsiders and avoid dependency on others. Paul's advice is as relevant today as it was then. Holiness and integrity are powerful witnesses to the world. The second coming of Christ is the central theme of this letter. The Thessalonians were concerned about the fate of believers who had died. Paul assures them that those who have fallen asleep in Christ will be resurrected when he returns. He paints a vivid picture of this glorious event. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. This passage offers comfort and hope, reminding us that death is not the end. Christ's return will be a triumphant reunion for all believers, living and deceased. Paul also emphasizes the suddenness of Christ's return, likening it to a thief in the night. While unbelievers will be caught off guard, believers are called to remain alert, self-controlled, and spiritually prepared. Paul concludes with a series of rapid-fire exhortations, covering a wide range of Christian conduct. He encourages the Thessalonians to respect their leaders, live in peace, and support one another. He also highlights the importance of joy, prayer, and gratitude. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. These practices are not only commands, but also keys to a vibrant spiritual life. Paul reminds them to test everything, hold on to the good, and avoid evil. Finally, he prays that God would sanctify them completely, preserving their spirit, soul, and body blameless at Christ's coming. The first epistle to the Thessalonians is a letter of hope and encouragement. It calls believers to live holy lives, love one another, and eagerly anticipate Christ's return. Its timeless message reminds us that no matter the trials we face, we have a glorious future in Christ. As Paul writes, encourage one another with these words. This letter invites us to anchor our lives in the hope of Christ's return, living each day with faith, love, and expectancy.